Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to learn how to create a CI/CD with AWS ECS and AWS CodePipeline. In this lecture, we'll be making use of CodeCommit, CodeBuild, CodeDeploy integrated with Amazon ECS along with CodePipeline. So all in all, we are going to deploy a Docker container onto our ECS with the help of this particular code pipeline. So before that, I would like to give you a brief introduction about my project. Okay. So basically you can see that this is a simple Node.js application which sends a response in the form of a text, or we can say an HTML text, when it is requested at this particular port of 3000. Okay, so it is a very simple application. Yeah, and then we have also got a Docker file with the help of which we'll be creating our Docker image. Okay, and then we have got buildspec.yaml which we'll be using in our code build. Okay, so let's get started with this. So what I'll do is I'll first clone this particular repository onto my EC2 instance. You can use any of the systems. I have made use of an EC2 instance for my preference. Yeah. So you must make sure that Git is already installed on your system. Okay. Mine is also already installed, but I'm just doing this for your sake. Okay. Now we'll be cloning the repository. Okay. Okay, so now you can see that this directory got automatically created once we cloned this repository. Now we'll go into this particular folder. Yeah, and we can see all the required files over here. Okay, so now what we'll be doing is we'll be creating an image out of it. Okay, and storing it on our ECR. So now what we'll do is we'll go to our ECR repository and create one for us. Okay, so I'll name it as web app, or I would say, web app is fine for us. And scan on push, I'll be enabling these options, and create repository. So now we have got a repository created right here. Okay, now we can view the push commands. Now you can see that we have got the first step with authentication. Okay, so for authentication purpose, what we need to do is we first need to log in to our ECR. Okay, so for that we first need to have got that permission to access the ECR. Okay, so for that what you need to do is you can just go into the policies, search for the registry. Okay, you will get quite a few options right here, and what you'll do is you select it and attach it. Okay, if you want to attach with your user, you can directly select that particular user with which you want to select it, right? I will be attaching this particular policy to it. Okay, so now you can go to users, and I'll be viewing my user, and within this you can see that I have got this particular access. And since I already have got an administrator access, I don't need this, but in your case you might require it, and it is very important, right? So that is the thing that you need to take care of. And the second thing is that you must have got AWS CLI configured on your system. Since I am already making use of Amazon Linux, I don't need to configure or install this particular AWS CLI. Okay, so that's what it is. So first I need to copy this particular command. Okay, and we'll be able to log into it. So now we are able to log into our ECR successfully. Okay, now after this I'll be just using these commands for building the image. With the help of this particular command I'll be building the image. My image also got built over here. Now after this I'll be adding a tag to that particular image. Like I'll show you, if I search for Docker images, you can see that my web app is there, my project is there. Okay, so my web app is the name of my repository, and same for this particular image that I got created. Now I will be adding a tag to it. Okay, I will be pushing this to my ECR now. Okay, you can see that the process has started. And done. So now we can view this over here. You can see that the latest image has been pushed right here. I guess this is something that I need to delete. Okay, so this is the required image that got created, right? Now once I'm done with this, what I'll be doing is I'll be first creating security groups. Now you will question me, like, why do we need to create security groups? We need to create those security groups because we are dealing with application load balancer, okay, in this ECS part. So for this we'll be creating the security groups. Okay, so I'll be searching for EC2. Yeah, if you don't understand this now, what you can do is you can go and watch my previous videos, or the specifically one video which is ECS service with application load balancer. In that I have explained everything in detail. Okay, so you can see that both of these security groups are already created. So basically this security group will allow the traffic at port 80 at using the protocol TCP. Okay, so I have just added the inbound rules over here. Will be allowed to add port 80. So this is what I have already created. Same with app from load balancer to container. So in this case I have allowed all the traffic, all the port ranges right here. Okay, so basically these are the security groups to allow the traffic from the load balancer onto our EC2 instances, right? That will be getting created with the ECS cluster. Okay, so I have created them already, so I won't disturb them as of now. If you want to know these details, then you can go and watch my video, which I'll be mentioning in the description also, and I'll be mentioning it in the card as well. Okay, so I will be first going and creating a cluster. I'll be making use of EC2 Linux plus networking. Yeah, I will be naming the cluster name as my cluster. Okay, And the EC2 instance type is t2.micro. That's what I want. I will be running 2 instances. The key pair will be ECS service. The VPC is the default VPC. I will be making use of 3 subnets, that is 1A, 1B, as well as 1C. So yeah, that's it. And then I will be enabling this auto assign public IP. And for the security group, I will be making use of from load balancer to container. Okay. The rest of the things I'll be keeping it as it is and enabling the container insights. So now we are done with the creation of our cluster and we can view this cluster right here. Okay. Now after this, what I'll be doing is I'll be creating a task definition. Okay. So it will be of type EC2 since my cluster is of type EC2, of course. So the task definition name is my task definition. Okay. And the role will be ECS task execution role. And the task memory that I'll be using is of 100. And over here I'll be making use of 1 vCPU. Okay. Now I'll be adding the container right here. Now the container name is very important. I will be mentioning it as my web app. Okay. And for the repository or the image name, what I need to do is I need to paste the whole URI of that particular repo. So this is what I will be entering right here. Okay. So I won't be mentioning the hard limit as of now. The port mappings will be of course 3000 since my project's port is of 3000, right? So add. Okay. So that's how we have defined our task definition and create. So it got successfully created. Okay. And now after this, what we are going to do is we are going to create a service. Now this service is very important since we are going to make use of load balancer over here. Okay. The service name is my web service. Okay. And the tasks that I'll be running is of course of 2 and minimum healthy percent is 0. Okay, next step. And over here I'll be making use of an application load balancer. So this is the application load balancer that I've already created. Okay, you can use yours. And over here I'll be just adding the target groups and rest of the things I'll be keeping it as it is. So this is the review page and create service. So now we can see that my load service has been created. Let's view it, and it's in the pending state. Now you must be thinking that why is it showing me the 4th version? This is because I had already created my task definition name earlier also. So it just started from that version, last version that it contained with that particular name. Okay, so no need to worry about it. It doesn't have any significance as such. Okay, all depends upon the versioning, right? The changes that you make. Okay, so the next thing that I will be doing is I'll be creating a CodeCommit repository. Okay, so let's go and create my web app repo. Okay, so this is the name for my repository. This is a Node.js application basically. Okay, so that's it, and create. So now we are able to create a code commit, right? Now in this, what we need to do is, if you want to make changes to this, we first need to clone this particular repository, right? So I will be cloning it in my EC2 instance only. Just come out of this folder and paste this repository. Now it will ask you for the username. Okay, so what you can do is, you can just go to your IAM. Within the users, you can go to the security credentials, and within this you have got one option right here. What I'll do is I'll just delete one of them because I want to create a new one. Okay, so what I'll do is I generate credentials, and I'll be making use of these over here. Yeah, so now I have cloned an empty repository, right? So now we successfully cloned the CodeCommit repository. Now what I need to do is I want to add the content of the previous repository to this particular repo of my CodeCommit, right? So what I'll do is I'll just move all the contents of this particular directory onto my web app repo. Now let's go into our my web app repo and check if all the things got added right here. So you can see that over here. Okay, now we'll check for the git status. Now you can see that these are the files that are untracked, so I'll add these to the staging area. Then we'll be committing it. fnm, adding new files. Okay, and we are done committing. Okay, now after this I'll be just pushing the changes right here. It will again prompt me for the username. I will be using this one itself. Oh my god. So all the changes got successfully pushed onto our code commit. So let's refresh and see this. So now you can see that all the files got pushed onto my repository of my web app repo. Okay. So now once we are done with the code commit, we'll now work with CodeBuild. Okay, so we'll just go to build projects and create build project. So in this, I'll be naming the project as my Node.js build project. Okay. And this is a Node build. Node.js build, I would say, rather. Yeah. So that's it. And then I'll be adding my web app repo over here. And the branch is of course of master branch. Commit ID is the latest ID that I've used. Operating system will be Amazon Linux 2. Runtime will be standard. Image will be of 4.0, sorry. Yeah. And this is the very important stage wherein we are enabling this flag to build Docker image, or you want to get the elevated privileges since we are building a Docker image, right? So this is very important thing to be done. Okay, so this is the role name. Okay, CodeBuild my Node.js build project. I will be creating a new role over here. Okay, you can make use of your existing service role if you have already. Okay, and then after that we have got a build spec mentioned right here. Okay, so in this case what we can do is, here there are build specifications. Okay, so you can use a build spec.yaml file right here. So if you have the file which contains the build specifications of type build spec.yaml, then you don't have to mention any name right here. Okay, but if it is of different name, then you will have to mention it here, over here. Since I've got a file named build spec.yaml itself, I won't be adding any name other than that over here. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, so we are going to create build project. Okay, so this is how we have created our build project right here. Now after this we are going to create a code pipeline. Okay, so before going to the code pipeline directly, what we can do is we can make few changes to our roles. Okay, so it is very important to have those changes right here. Okay, and before going to code pipeline, in fact we'll have to have got few changes to our roles. So let's go to the roles section, and within that you can see that for the my Node.js, so I think I need to refresh it once. Yeah, you can see that this is the role which I was searching for, and I need to add few policies to it, right? Since I am dealing with ECR, right? So in that case I have to use this particular full access. This is something that is very important. Okay, and I will be attaching it right here. Okay, so this is how we are done with one such thing. Okay, now after this we'll go to our code pipeline, right? And we'll be creating a pipeline. So my pipeline name will be my Node.js pipeline. Okay, so this will be the name of my role. And next, for the source stage, I'll be using AWS CodeCommit itself. Yeah, So this is the name of my repository, branch name is master, and the rest of the things as it is. So for the build stage, I'll be making use of AWS CodeBuild. And within this, I have got this particular project as my Node.js build, right? And next, sorry, just a minute. I didn't add environment variables now. This is also a crucial thing, right? Since we are dealing with buildspec.yaml over here, and in this case we have mentioned few environment variables. So in order to use them, we are going to name them over here and add those associated values over there. Not west, sorry, it's east itself. Yeah, and then after that we have got AWS account ID as well, right? So that is something that I'll be adding over here. Now the account ID is something that you get right here itself, and this is something that I'll be adding over here. And then after that we have got image repo name right here. So this is something that we need to add. And for the image repo name, I have used my web app. So this is something that I'll be using right here. Okay. Then after this, we have got repository URI, sorry. So this is something you'll get it from here itself. You just need to remove the latest part, the tag part. Okay. And then one more thing that is crucial right here is the container name. Now there is a very much confusion related to the container name. Here we don't mention the task definition name. For the container name, we mention the container name itself that we have given in our ECS. For example, in my case, if I go to task definitions, and within the task definition, we can see the container name right here, and it is of my web app. So this is what is required for the container name. Okay, so this is something that we need to use over here. For the deployment, I'll be making use of Amazon ECS. The cluster is my cluster, the service name is my web service, and the rest of the things as it is, since it being optional, right? So create pipeline. Okay, so within the roles, right? Okay, so my Node.js, okay, I can just rename it, no worries with that. I can just rename this one. Okay, my web app pipeline. Okay, so this is what I have decided to make it right here. Okay, next, and now I think it won't give me any error. So it's creating the pipeline. So now you can see that my source has already started the thing over here, and it's showing in progress, which means that it is fetching my repository. Yeah, now the build is also started. So now we can see that there is some problem over here. So let's try to see what is the problem. So error while executing. Image URL, repository URL, image tag. Okay, I forgot to mention the image tag in the environment variables, I guess. Yeah, right. So that is the thing. Okay, so let's go to our build projects, and within that I'll just try to select it and edit the environment. Okay, I will be adding the environment variable named image tag, which I forgot in a hurry, right? So you see, small mistakes can take you anywhere. Right? So you need to be very much conscious about it. So this is how it is working. Okay, so now we'll rebuild this pipeline of ours. Okay, what I can do is I can make some change over here in my repository only. Okay, just go to the index.js and edit few things over here. Welcome to my new Express application deployed using Docker. Okay, be adding few changes. Okay, and commit changes. So now my pipeline will automatically start its build. You can see that it has started once again. I will try to refresh it once. This is building over here. It may take some time. But successfully succeeded. So now you can see that it got successfully deployed onto our ECS, and considering that what we can see over here is a service right here, and within the deployments you can see that 2 of the new deployments have been deployed right here. So with this particular step we successfully deployed the changes onto our ECS, and now we can access it via load balancer. So let me just go to the load balancer and just copy the DNS name right here. Okay, and now you can see that the changes that I made were successfully deployed onto our ECS cluster. So hope you found the videos helpful. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel if you found the video helpful. Also don't forget to press that bell icon for the latest updates. Thank you so much and have a nice day.